Today inside Judge Raquel West's courtroom, the energy is intense. A defendant, Miss Tibo, stands before the bench. But this isn't about one slip-up, this is about repeated violations, a judge who will not be misled, and a moment where freedom or jail time hangs in the balance. What happens now will challenge patience, integrity, and the weight behind the gavel. Stay tuned because you do not want to miss how this unfolds.
Maybe, and Ms. Simon's here. This update report says 2 10-year adjudicated probations, but it was a 2-year term.
It was 2 over 5.
2 TDC over 5, correct?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, that was an error.
Okay, just making sure. And so Ms. Tibo was previously here, entered pleas of true to counts 2 and 4 in the motion to revoke probation. And I've received the updated pre-sentence report. Have you all received that updated report?
Yes.
State has to.
Any additions or corrections to that other than the one that I already made?
None from the state.
Nothing but that.
And there was no agreement. Is there any evidence with regard to the other counts, Mr. Hoffpower?
Any new, meaning new failed to register?
No. I don't know. She pled true to counts 2 and 4, so there's obviously some other counts. Do you have any witnesses or evidence with regard to those other counts?
We're going to full abandon those counts. We'll just proceed on 2 and 4.
Okay.
Other than I call my probation officer, but I like her opinion.
Okay, so I guess there was an arrest in
It's in Florida.
Palatka, Florida. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay, so count 1. Why don't you have any evidence with regard to count 1 if your probation officer's here?
Sure, we can call. I'm sorry. Apologize, Your Honor.
Ma'am, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You may proceed.
Please take the name of the record.
Sarah Simon.
I'm a son of you, the probation officer, Simon, Ms. Tibo.
I am.
Okay, and how long have you been first division officer?
Year and a half.
Okay, and throughout the time that you've been a probation officer, has you complied with the terms of other conditions? Either one of the cases.
Speak up, please. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, she has not.
She's not.
Yeah, okay, in what instances has she not complied?
Tibo has had consistent reporting habits. She has not paid towards her process fees. She's actually committed
Was she allowed, first of all, was she allowed through her probation in Texas to venture out of the state and be in Florida?
She's not.
She wasn't allowed?
She was not allowed.
Is she allowed through her reporting as a sex offender to move or go to another state and have no probation? Is she allowed to leave the state?
No, without.
She pled true to that.
Okay.
Count 1 is that she has not reported since January 27th of 2025.
Is that true? No,
That is true.
Intermittently, or she is fully not? She's been called absconder.
She is absconded.
Okay, since that day.
Yes. Or 90 days after that comes in January, she becomes absconded.
She got into absconder. Okay, and since she reported since the time on which she was arrested.
She has not reported.
Have you spoken to her at the jail?
At the hearing.
All right, did she give a reason for why she had to report?
She did not.
At this time, I'll pass it on.
Okay, I also would like to know, Ms. Simon, were you able to confirm in any way the arrest? Obviously, she's going to say she didn't do it, and that's okay, but if she was actually just, whether an arrest happened in Florida?
Yes, I did obtain an arrest report from Florida.
PC, okay. But do you have a problem cause? Do you have a full offense?
The full officer.
Okay, for what crime was she arrested?
There's 2. I think one was petite theft and then obstruction by disguise first.
Okay. It was all the same incident?
Yes.
What date did that occur, according to the law?
June 29th, 2025.
And were both those committed?
Objection as far as committed, Your Honor. I don't object to her listing evidence as far as an arrest.
An
As far
arrest.
as the actual commission that could violate a right to a fair process.
Did the allegation occur?
Yeah, the arrest.
The arrest occur while she was on probation.
Kelly, this just did something again.
Cases.
Correct.
And those haven't been resolved here, or not.
Not now.
Can I proceed now?
Yes.
She initially failed to report in January, is that right, of 2025?
That was the last face-to-face contact I had.
January 2025. Then arrest June 29th of 2025.
Yes.
So February, March, April, May, June, 5 failures to report. And she went into absconder status March of 2025.
Maybe April.
April.
Like 90 days after.
90. So April 2025, she became an absconder. 2 months after that, she was arrested in Florida, is that right?
Right.
So you were aware if she was in Florida, which state, when were you aware that she was in custody in Florida?
I received a phone call from somebody that let me know that she was arrested and in jail in Florida. And then that's when I obtained this arrest report.
So when there was an MPRP entered into NCIC, I guess, after April. Was there an MPRP and that's why Florida advised you there was an active warrant for her then?
There was an active warrant for the interim. She was arrested for the.
Right, and that warrant popped up in June in Florida.
Correct.
So from June 29th to today, she's been in custody, is that right? So
I
she
didn't try to
couldn't
open
report
anything, it
it
just started doing stuff
to
on its
probation
own.
department. She's in custody from June 29th to today because she's locked up. That's not her fault that she didn't report because she's in custody, correct? So she can't report.
Correct.
As far as supervising her, she has reported, you say inconsistently, but that means she has reported some, correct?
Correct.
During the times that she has reported, have you been able to interact with her appropriately? She maintain proper demeanor, that type of thing?
She was, yes, but she was consistently late. I had to reschedule her several different times to get her out of the office.
Have you had any other difficulties with her as far as just maybe perhaps being late or scheduling, as far as your actual interactions with her? She maintain appropriate demeanor, acted appropriately with you?
Yes.
Would you object to continuing to supervise her?
I would.
Why is that?
My personal opinion, I don't think it's too close. She's for probation as a priority. She has been on probation since 2022 and has made no progress in regards to her community. She did some community service, and that's about it.
When you say progress, how do you measure progress on probation?
Satisfying her court order conditions.
And how is she falling short other than the reporting and fees and community service?
If she committed.
So is this correct in the, hold on a second, hold on. Is in the updated report, it states that since
6 times since 2022, that's barely once a year. Picture this, your boss requires weekly check-ins, and you stroll in only at Christmas. That's how bad this looks.
she was granted supervision, has reported 6 times for scheduled office visits. Is that a correct number? Okay. 6 times since 2022.
I have another question, Your Honor.
Let's let Mr. Kindler finish.
If she were to be extended, which the court has the power to do, I mean, you would continue to supervise her, right? Or would you have a problem with supervising her?
I would work with her this.
See any indication of the need for some type of mental health referral or anything of that nature? I mean, I understand she's only reported 6 times, as the judge indicated. You see any kind of programs or other things that probation could do for her, maybe perhaps to get her on the right track?
I think the only other option would be the cognitive junctive IRC.
Pass witness.
Your Honor, is this the first time that we've been here on these 2 cases for a motion to revoke? There was another time back in 2024 in which we had a hearing similar to this, not me, especially as the attorney, but she was brought in on a motion to revoke, and her probation was amended, and she was given 30 days in JCC.
As the hearing unfolds, the stakes come sharply into focus. This isn't routine paperwork or a minor penalty, this is probation on the line, courtroom attitude under the microscope, and past behavior weighing heavily on every decision. Judge West cuts through excuses, demanding clarity and responsibility. What makes it so compelling is that every word, every hesitation, has the power to steer the outcome. The room feels still, almost breathless, waiting to see whether the defendant's story stands firm or falls apart beneath the judge's scrutiny.
And she was continued on, and she was added to the mental health case. Right?
The high medium risk case, because she didn't report enough to be transferred over to the high medium risk case.
So this is not even the first time that we've been here on this, on similar allegations. That was a year in 2024, we did the same deal. Is that correct?
I might follow up on that. I believe in the previous HURP, she had a motion, again, a motion to revoke. She had federal charges, is that right?
Correct.
The NTRP was filed after she received the federal charges,
I believe so, yes.
and she was housed in the cell unit. Were you supervising her then?
No, it's not.
Do you know if the detainer was placed on her for that NTRP while she was in federal custody?
I didn't know.
Did she actually do federal time while she was on probation for this case?
That is why the NTLB was dismissed.
So she received, I think, about a year sentence in federal court for misprision of felony. Is that consistent with what she did?
1 year federal probation.
She was prison. She was locked up, right?
She got probation.
She had 1 year federal probation.
Probation, okay, for misprision. Or, you know, what the offense was.
I thought it was a possession.
Okay. Anyway, she received a year of federal probation, so she was not revoked and was allowed to serve the probation concurrently.
Correct.
So during the period that she was on federal probation for that year, do you know if she was reporting to a federal probation officer or any issues with the federal probation you're aware of?
According to Ms. Tibo, she successfully completed her federal probation.
And that was at the same time that she was on probation with Jefferson County.
Correct.
Was she reporting to you during that time period as well? What was her reporting record in Jefferson County during that period? I guess it was probably back in 2024.
Well, she's reported 6 whole times so obviously it wasn't great even when it was then.
Right. But she was being supervised at least during that period federally, was able to successfully complete that probation, correct? Does that indicate to you that perhaps she could successfully complete Jefferson County probation? She's sufficiently
She has the ability to, but whether or not she has the motivation or the want to do so.
Pass one, John.
All right, any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Simon. Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
I would defer to Ms. Tibo, Your Honor. She wanted to address the court. I think she has written to the court, and that letter's incorporated in the PSI.
I received it and read it. Anything else?
No, I mean, when I did fail to report it. Sometimes I was hard with scheduling, but a lot of it had to do with my mother being sick, and I brought my mother sick to her office with me multiple times because I wasn't able to just stay with where she was at. I brought her when I could. I mean, she's passed now, but at that time frame after.
But, I mean, we're talking about since 2022.
I was in
Or
a
20
federal facility for a year and a day.
Okay. All right, so here's the thing. I'm not even sure where this agreement came from and why I accepted it in the first place, because giving somebody the minimum of 2 on a probation, so I have really nothing to do hardly on this. But Ms. Tibo, I mean, you've been given every opportunity over the last 4 or 5 years to do everything you're supposed to on this probation, and you've refused to do that. You flat out refused, and we all have different issues that go along with parents and family members and things that go wrong. And instead of, I mean, it looks like, I think one of the things that concerns me the most is that you called June 2nd asking why the police went to your home. June 2nd you called. And so your probation officer said there's a warrant because of your violations on June 2nd. Then you went to Florida and got arrested for 2 new offenses. without registering, without obviously telling anybody where you are and the type of probation you're on, the offense that you're on probation for, that's probably the number one thing that you should do. So flee in the state when you know that there is a warrant for your arrest.
Across the courtroom sessions we've witnessed today, one thing stood out without question. Judge Raquel West expects respect, accountability, and honesty from every defendant who steps in front of her. We watched Ms. Tibo's situation unfold layer by layer, from probation concerns to the judge demanding direct, truthful answers. But her case wasn't the only lesson. Every matter on today's docket sent the same message loud and clear. This courtroom is not a stage for excuses, games, or watered-down truth. Whether it was probation violations, issues inside the jail system, or repeated refusal to follow court orders, Judge West made it clear that her priority is protecting the community and honoring the law. What makes this courtroom so compelling isn't only the final decisions, it's the human behavior unfolding in real time. Some defendants attempt charm, some react with attitude, and others break when the truth finally closes in. Yet through everything, Judge West's presence never shifted. She carries fairness with firmness, making sure justice isn't just delivered, it's felt. If you were paying attention, you saw how fast she can change the tone of the room. One moment calm and steady, the next cutting straight through a weak excuse with precision. That unpredictability is what makes these hearings gripping. A seemingly simple check-in can suddenly transform into a battle over years of freedom. Today's cases reminded us of one powerful truth: every courtroom appearance is a turning point. Defendants walk in with their history behind them, their decisions ahead of them, and a judge prepared to determine whether they go home or back into custody. Now it's your turn to weigh in. Did Judge West call things fairly? Were the defendants given a chance, or did their own choices determine the outcome? Share your thoughts in the comments, because the conversation matters just as much as the rulings. And if you want more raw, unfiltered courtroom moments where the stakes are real, the judges are sharp, and every word could shift a future, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We break down the biggest moments so you never miss what happens behind the bench. Until next time, remember, in Judge Raquel West's courtroom, excuses fade fast but justice remains.